Thanks for staying with us on the news tonight. Now, something that will break your heart if you are a dog lover. Today, more than 7 stray dogs have reportedly been shot dead, yes, shot by a private company in Oragadam's industrial area. The Blue Cross that received information about this incident early this morning rushed to the spot and has lodged an FIR with the local police. This is not the first time that such an incident is taking place. Earlier this year, in February too, a veil of gloom took over Perumbakam, where over 60 street dogs were ruthlessly injected with poison and buried in the grave.
We are further taking it up also after the post-mortem report with the Chief Inspector of Factories questioning how can they use firearms in an industrial area, which is a safety violation itself. So, under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960, we are lodged a complaint, and we will take it up, and we will demand that the perpetrators be brought to justice.
Well, the Vice Chairman of the Animal Welfare Board of India, Mr. Chinni Krishna, spoke to me about what it will take to and put a full stop to this dreadful act once and for all. Take a listen. As ironic as it may be, do you believe that perhaps it's the law by itself that has no teeth in this case?
Absolutely. The Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act provides for a very minimal fine. And the other problem really is that even the existing laws are not being enforced by the people who have to enforce them. The Animal Welfare Board is only a facilitating body for the Government of India. And the Blue Cross of India hasn't got the prosecution powers. We have to do it through the local police. It's very, very unfortunate that the police don't give enough importance to this.
As much as you are the dog lover, not everybody shares the similar sentiments, like maybe me, for instance. I would, love dogs, but there is a sense of fear, and perhaps at most areas that fear is still there. Is that because of an awareness factor that's really lacking, or is it because there's that notion that street dogs equals to maybe rabies?
You see, the fact is that in Chennai corporation limits, the older corporation limits in any case, there has been no deaths from rabies since 2007. The rabies was eliminated only because of a very scientific animal birth control program, where the dog is caught, vaccinated, sterilized and released back in the same area from which it's picked up. This is the only way in which the dog population can be controlled and rabies can be eliminated.
All right. In this particular case, is your group trying to do something, press forward, maybe for a compromise of sorts? I mean, the lives of these dogs have already been lost, but is there anything that your organization is planning to do? This is a mainstream company, we hear, that has done this. So,
no, as far as the Animal Welfare Board is concerned, we have decided that we would pull out all stops and make an example of this. I mean, we have given as much notice and as much information and awareness raising in those areas. Everybody is aware of the rules today. And these are not uneducated idiots who are doing it. These are company directors who are given the instructions to shoot the dogs. I think it's totally unacceptable.
So, just before we conclude this discussion, while there are enough measures perhaps now, today, compared to the previous years, what still makes your blood boil? Be it maybe the awareness factor among citizens of Chennai, in a metropolitan city as we call it?
No, what makes my blood boil really is that if you take a walk down the street, you will find the poor people. These are not stray dogs. These are street dogs. They belong on the street. These are community dogs being looked after by somebody in the community. And for us, it's not a question of animals or people. It's a question of animals and people. We can both coexist. And there's absolutely no problem.
So what's your message to a viewer who might still have apprehensions about whether, that stray dog should be moved away from their area? What should we do? A lot of questions. So your message to someone who's watching back in their home tonight with maybe a plate of dinner, what should it be?
Well, the basic rule is that nature abhors a vacuum. If I remove the dogs from any one area, a new bunch of dogs will move in to fill that vacuum. You are never going to get rid of dogs by removing them. The only way to do it is by a mass sterilization program so that the dogs don't multiply and keep.
Do you believe enough is being done by the Chennai Corporation when it comes to sterilization measures?
Well, the Chennai Corporation was the first in India to start this in 1996. Abul Hassan was the mayor when he gave the instructions to stop the killing. At that time, they were killing 135 dogs per day in the Chennai Corporation limits alone.
Right.
Today, since then, they've killed absolutely not a single dog. Yet the number of dogs on the street have gone down tremendously. And before anybody jumps up and says no, I can just tell you 3 examples. Number 1, you never find a bunch of hungry, emaciated dogs outside every dustbin like you used to see even 10 years ago. You don't find a pair of mating dogs on the street, and you never find a mother dog and puppies walking about the streets of Chennai.
All right, so sterilization perhaps in a much aggressive manner so that we don't see such incidents in the future. But I think the ABC of it all is maybe some love as well, right? Some puppy love from humans like us towards these creatures. Absolutely. Thanks very much indeed, Mr. Jenya Krishna, for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Moving on to some other news from the state and the city. The Chennai City Police have busted a prostitution racket that has till date been functioning under the guise of an Ayurvedic massage parlor. Today, the anti-vice squad arrested 2 persons from the parlor in Adyar and have launched a hunt for the owner as well. Meanwhile, 3 girls hailing from Andhra Pradesh and Manipur area have been rescued. In fact, they were forced into prostitution, and they've now been sent to a government home in Mylapore area. The woman who was running the parlor and even advertised about the center in nude dailies is absconding. In the modus operandi, she offered customers who contacted her the services by these young women at a rate of 5,000 rupees. It was when a decoy from the police department caught them red-handed that the arrests and the rescue was on. The young men who were arrested were produced at the Saidapet court and now have been lodged at the Pural prison. Now, if the IITs and the leading B schools in the country have been receiving flack for not having a research management team or even a faculty pool for expertise, a conference held today met to change that idea. A national conference in a debut initiative called the Rethinking Management Education with Innovation and Creativity looked at redesigning the MBA curriculum in India. Now, this aimed at bringing together faculty from India's leading management institutes, deans, directors and policymakers in education under one umbrella for the same. This relook exercise at the curriculum was a forthright initiative by the IIMA Alumni Association Chennai chapter as well as the Anna University.
We wrote the book on rethinking the MBA. This question about innovation, innovative thinking, creative problem solving is a fundamental central question to what not only business schools but other educational institutions need to think differently about. We don't give much focus on innovation, creativity. How do you think differently? How do you redefine problems, restructure them, think out of the box, come up with solutions that are very different from ones that we might think of if we only think in small increments. This is a huge opportunity, I think, in India, given the nature of problems we face, a huge opportunity to transform in a fundamental way business education, as I said, education more generally.
Moving on, the casket of the Saint Don Bosco has been handed over to the Salesian province, Chennai, and is in the city now for devotees to pay their tribute and receive blessings. The casket was today taken in solemn procession along the Taylors Road and the Landons Road to the gate of the provincial house, with the band playing sweet melodies and children waving flags and strewing flowers along the way. It will now be kept for veneration for about the next 21 days.
Don Bosco, when he was alive, he wanted to go to other countries as missionary, but God has decided differently, that he had to plan for others to go as missionaries, and so he was unable to go during his lifetime. But as we are celebrating the 150th year of the foundation of this congregation, and together with the second century of his birth, we are given this opportunity to fulfill his dream. Like the Major has allowed this body to come out of Italy. We have a replica of his body with his original hand embedded in the chest of that body. It is the third year actually. It has gone around entire world, to Americas, to Europe, and now it has come to Asian country. This year it is going around in India. It has started from North India and it is doing the last lap in Chennai. Yesterday it came to Chennai province and is going to be with us for 21 days.
Let's get you some national news now. The anti-corruption group which forced the government to rethink the Lokpal bill may be having some problems of their own, but they're not changing their core group. While various members of Team Anna like Meeta Patkar and Kumar Vishwas have suggested that the core group around Anna Hazare needs to expand so that individuals aren't targeted, the team members in a meeting today decided that it wasn't necessary.
कोर कमेटी के हर सदस्य ने, वॉलंटियर्स ने देश के करोड़ों लोगों के साथ मिलकर आंदोलन में अहम भूमिका निभाई है। अतः कोर कमेटी को भंग करने का सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता है। सरकार जन लोकपाल के मुद्दे से देश का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए और आंदोलन की छवि खराब करने की मंशा से सरकारी मशीनरी का दुरुपयोग करके कोर कमेटी के सदस्यों पर हमले कर रही है। सरकार द्वारा कोर कमेटी पर किए जा रहे हमलों का हम मजबूती के साथ जवाब देंगे और देश का ध्यान लोकपाल के मुद्दे से हम भटकने नहीं देंगे।
Up ahead on this bulletin, it's a Qantas loss and grounding that has given Down Under a beating like none other.